most of the ministers, and I say most with every sense of responsibility, most of the ministers that walk in the supernatural are ministers that are given to praying in the spirit. I remember I was going on a mission trip to Uganda. I was living in Nigeria then, and the Holy Spirit. I woke up in the morning and I heard the voice of the Holy Spirit. One of those few times I've heard the audible voice of the Holy Spirit, and He said to me, "Pray in tongues for 12 hours."
12 hours.
So I stood up and I said, "Wow, the Lord just instructed me to pray in tongues for 12 hours." So I called some of my associate pastors to join me. And we went into our church hall, and we began to pray in tongues. It was the toughest thing, to pray in tongues for 12 hours nonstop,
Yeah.
But I obeyed, and I prayed from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I traveled to Uganda shortly afterwards. I tell you the truth, I got to Uganda and we began to see miracles.
Wow.
We began to see the Lord move in mighty ways. It was so strong that the churches of the city shut down and they all came together.
Wow.
And I was told that was the first time. The city is Ishaka in Uganda. I was told that was the first time the churches will unite in that way. They all came together, all the pastors sitting and all the people behind them into our conference.
Wow.
It was amazing, and God gave us apostolic, grace in that city.
Wow.
With diverse miracles happening, the deaf ears opening. There was a lady there that the power of God came on her, and she was under the influence of the Holy Spirit for like 3 days. When she came out of that strong influence, she went into the hospital, motivated by the Holy Spirit, and began to lay hands on people, and people were getting healed.
In the hospital?
In the hospital.
Oh my goodness.
So much so people ran to where I was lodging, and it was a commotion in the city, because I obeyed God and I spoke with tongues for 12 hours.